One of the most common things people say to me is, "Hey you, get out of my garden." One of the next most common things people say to me is, "Hey Tradespotting, what are your favourite indicators and which one would suit my trading style?" So rather than answer this question 1,000 more times, I thought I'll make a video on it, which I can direct them to, and I'll even make it good enough so that I might get new subscribers to the channel. So if you appreciate snappy content and you like making money, hit like and subscribe now so you don't forget to do it later. And if you're a returning viewer, I appreciate you. This is a Tradespotting list of my top 5 indicators. 4 of them have very similar rates of success, while one is a standout winner. Some are great for day trading, while others are better at identifying potential changes in the long-term trend, and therefore slightly better for swing traders or breakout trading. All of them are free, and I'll show you how to add them to your trading view. Each of them has the power to completely transform your trading strategy. I'll add chapters below, so if you're only interested in a particular one, you can click straight to it. Though if you're here to discover which indicators would suit you best, then you'll enjoy the whole video. The first indicator is called the No Sure Thing, or KST. This is a momentum oscillator. What is a momentum oscillator and why use them? Well, a momentum oscillator is a measure of the velocity of a trend. Why do we use them? Because momentum is a principle of price action. If momentum makes new highs, it's statistically likely that price will follow in its steps, and if it doesn't, we're able to identify divergence. So there's 2 good ways to trade with a momentum oscillator. Momentum in one sense means strength, and we can mark out areas of historical strength and weakness on this indicator using overbought and oversold zones. These can be very helpful when analysing thrust strength or for taking divergence plays. The constituent parts of this indicator include a moving average of several different rates of change over various different timelines. If you'd like me to explain that in more detail or show you exactly how I use the KST, comment KST below. KST prints a trend line and a signal line, which when crossing give us buy or sell signals. We can analyse this cross to see if it's above or below the centre line, which gives us a picture of the bearish or bullish posture and allows us to make a slightly more sophisticated decision or have a more robust trading strategy. So the KST gives us an indication with regards to taking trades based on bullish or bearish divergence, trendline crossovers, crosses of the central line, and readings from the overbought and oversold zones. I use the KST for day trading along with the VWAP and a couple of other indicators, which gives a really high success rate at nearly 70%. So if that's something you'd like to see in more detail, then comment below, and if I get enough comments that say KST, then I'll do a quick walkthrough on it. Next up is the Rocky Outcrop Relative Strength Index and Exponential Moving Average. This is Rocky's custom Relative Strength Index indicator. He's added the exponential moving average to give a cross, which provides a buy or a sell signal, or it can be used in combination with other indicators to give you a more robust trading strategy. The simple improvements that Rocky has made to the world's most popular indicator make it more reliable easier to use, quicker to use, and more effective. I've seen many YouTubers selling proprietary indicators which don't have a success rate as high as this one, which Rocky will give you for free. So if you aren't able to follow along with what I'm doing here to add the indicator, hop over to his Discord, which is linked below, and I'm sure he'll be able to either provide you with the code or you'll see it there in the resources tab. Experienced traders all share a deep knowledge of the RSI. If you're a novice trader, then it's one of the first indicators you should add to your charts. It helps you over time learn about the rhymes and the cycles of those assets you trade. Over time, you will come to recognize areas of support and resistance, which become more and more concrete as more and more traders focus on them. The Rocky Outcrop RSI and EMA has strict overbought and oversold zones, which have been crafted specifically for volatile markets like crypto and forex. The exponential was tested to give the most reliable crosses and the most success rate for trading those crosses. The colors change in order to add extra clarity to the signals that are given, and all of these things together mean that the Rocky Outcrop RSI is very robust and provides complex information in a very digestible way at just a glance. You could either use this on its own for a quite simple trading strategy, or you could combine it with other indicators to give you a higher rate of success and a more sophisticated approach. I use the Rocky Outcrop RSI and EMA on all of my charts, on every time frame, and I'd never take a trade without consulting it. The third indicator on the Tradespotting list is the Donchian Channel, much less talked about than many of the other indicators I'm covering today, but it's fantastic. It's overlaid on price action, much like the Bollinger Bands, and indeed it performs many similar functions. On the smaller time frames, that's anything below the 12-hour, it's best used for reversal trading or breakout trades. I'd go as far as to say that if you're a breakout trader and not using the Donchian Channel, then you're taking unnecessary risks in what is already the most risky trading style. On the daily chart and above, the Donchian Channel is excellent at spotting potential trend changes quickly. The Donchian Channel takes the highest high and the lowest low from the time frame you're looking at and uses them to plot the top and the bottom of the channel. It then plots a midline for measuring bearish or bullish thrusts. When price reaches the top of the channel but doesn't break through, the suggested trade would be to either close your long or open a short, and mutatis mutandis when the price reaches the bottom of the channel. The midline is a good judge of trend, and as such crossovers can be traded in the direction of the preceding move. I use the Donchian Channel to confirm short-term breakouts on smaller time frames and trend shifts on the daily and above. It's particularly useful when combined with the parabolic SAR indicator for longer term moves. If you want to see them both in action together, or get an example of how I use the Donchian Channel, comment Donchian Channel below, and if the votes add up enough, then I'll pick that one to do a video on next. I should say at this point that any indicator that gives frequent signals will give false ones, and so experienced traders have methods for identifying which signals are likely to be profitable and which ones to ignore. I can't cover all of them in this video because it's already going to be just about the perfect length, and I'd hate to ruin that with information that I could do subsequently if you're interested, so let me know in the comments if that's the case. Number 4 is moving averages. The best thing about moving averages is how comprehensive they are. They do everything from signifying previous momentum, giving crossover signals, giving trend signals, and demonstrate the velocity of price moves that you've just gone through. Some people hate the inherent lag of moving averages, and so will use a variation of these indicators in order to give themselves less false signals, or to give them faster signals. But I would say that moving averages were designed to do a job of which they do very well. In fact, nearly every other good indicator will rely on or use a moving average at some point. So I think that you should stick with the moving averages, and if you're looking to achieve something in addition to what they present, then you should combine them with other indicators. Beginners might appreciate a quick explanation of what a moving average is in terms of why it's named that way, and so I'll do that now. Moving averages are numbered by and defined by their number of constituent periods. So the 9-period simple moving average on the daily chart will be an average of the previous 9 days. Similarly, on the monthly chart, it will be an average of the previous 9 months. The 21 EMA on the 15-minute chart will consist of 21 periods of 15 minutes each. Exponential moving averages place more weight on the recent price action and therefore give a hint towards the velocity of a trend. Depending on your type of analysis or the time frame for which you're focusing on, some moving averages are better than others. For measuring long-term trends, the 9-period simple moving average on the daily chart is a very good indication of whether things are bearish or bullish. Similarly, people use the 200 EMA across all time frames to make an assessment of the recent trend. If price is above it and it's pointing up, I would trade as though we are in a bullish trend. When shorter period moving averages are above longer period moving averages on the same time frame, we can say that recently the trend has been increasing in strength. Another way that we judge the strength of trend or the current posture of the market is with the 50 period and the 200 period moving averages. So in order to measure the strength of trend across any time frame, if the 50 period has crossed above the 200, then we can say that the trend has been increasing in strength recently and that we are now in a bullish market condition. Whereas if the 50 crosses below the 200, we could say that that was a bearish sign and that we may be entering into a longer term bearish environment, or at least about to experience a bearish thrust in price action. This is the classic EMA cross. When it goes up, we call it a golden cross, and when it goes down, we call it the death cross. Personally, I don't put much weight on any type of cross that happens on any time frame under the 4 hour when I'm trading traditional stocks and shares, and would prefer to see it on the daily time frame. In cryptocurrency markets, anything on the 4 hour or the 2 hour is worth considering, and when you're doing forex, well, you look at it on the 15-minute as well. Whatever market you're trading, the death cross or the golden cross in particular are retested very often to confirm the signal, and this makes an excellent entry point, and it will also give you a very clear area for risk management, which is why I've included the EMAs on my favorite indicators, because if you combine a golden cross with bullish divergence on Rocky Outcrop RSI EMA and bullish divergence on one of the other indicators I'm going to mention later, you get an absolutely amazing trade. I use moving averages to get a picture of the recent and long-term trend strength. I also use them to confirm signals given by other indicators, and they're very useful across all timelines and all markets. The next indicator I'm going to talk about is my absolute favourite. It's much maligned by others, but it forms the backbone of my trading strategy. It can be used to improve the signals that any other indicator happens to be giving you, and it's very easy to use it correctly. It is, of course, the MACD. So if you'd like to see how I use this, or what I use it in combination with, or examples of why it's so good, comment double cheeseburger and fries below, and if there's enough of those comments, then I'll do a video on that next. MACD is so very good that I would say even a terrible trader trading a terrible asset in a terrible period can still make money if they use the MACD correctly. The MACD is boxed below the price chart. As you can see here, it includes a histogram that measures the changing strength of price movements and is overlaid with a fast and a slow length trend line. When they cross up, well below the center line, they give a buy signal, and when they cross down, while above the center line, they give a sell signal. If we combine these crosses with the histogram, then we can take trades that are in line with price momentum. It is this indicative nature of the price momentum taken from the histogram that leads us to name the MACD as a leading indicator. It's not so much that it's leading on any leaderboard, it's that it's giving suggestions as to future price action, as opposed to simply telling you what's happened in the past. If price reaches support or resistance, you can use the MACD along with a Donchian channel to significantly increase the success rate of both swing and breakout trades. This works on all time frames for all assets. So that's the Tradespotting list of my top 5 indicators. A lot of people who've seen me trading or looked at my charts or asked me these questions before will say, but Tradespotting, where is the Bollinger Bands that you like so much? Where's the DMI that you constantly talk about? Or what about the Ichimoku cloud? I thought you said it was great for giving people stops along with their entries to help their risk management. All of that is true, but those 3 particular indicators I mentioned there have already been covered in an excellent fashion by Rocky Outcrop, who has his own proprietary DMI. You can get in the Discord, the same place you'll get his RSI EMA indicator. And he's got a video that goes along with it that explains it better than I ever could, and I highly recommend it. Same goes for the Bollinger Bands and the Ichimoku. So if those are the sort of things you're interested in, click the links below.